Well, Richard, what's the overriding emotion after that one? They scored late, looks like they might take the points. We score with the last kick of the game. What's the overriding feeling with you and the dressing room?
The feeling is disappointment that we didn't get what we deserved out of the game. So it's a disappointed dressing room, but the performance was very, very good. We created enough chances. I've just been told 30 shots on goal, 10 on target. They're huge stats, and you normally come away with a win with stats like that. So I've just said to him, listen, the performance was good. On another day, you could win 4 or 5-0 with that game. The fact that the clock kept ticking and we couldn't get that first goal just gave them a chance in the game, and they take their chance with a one shot on target that they have. But yeah, we can't be disappointed with that as much as we want to win the games here at Priestfield. It's a tough division. People come and make it difficult for you, as we thought they might. And the fact that we created so many chances is probably something that we should be happy about. We just didn't lay one on a plate for somebody to say, score me.
I just said to you on the stairs, don't ever write us off. Did you think with 5 minutes added time, did you think the chance had gone?
No, I always believe in the boys, and they have great belief and confidence as well. You worry that now they're just going to dig trenches on the edge of their box and defend for their lives, and that's what they did. They got blocks in. Once you lose control of the game and the opposition score first, it suddenly becomes very difficult. But as I say, we created so many chances in the game. I felt that we might get another one. And I actually said to Elliot Nevitt, like, tomorrow you'll get your goal tomorrow, because he's been waiting for a little while. So delighted for him. It's good that they're disappointed that they haven't won the game, and I think that says a lot now. They're a team that want to win matches at home. They played to win today. Really pleased with a lot of what I saw today, and I think if we can just keep reproducing that, we'll be all right in games in the future.
Dobbo, thank you. Ben, all yours.
Richard, just a couple more stats for you. 51 total crosses your team put in today, and you had 48 touches in the opposition box compared to Cheltenham's 11. I mean, statistically it was complete domination, but you just couldn't get 1, 2, 3 and 4, etc.
Yeah, they're incredible stats, Em. I thought early on we started really well. We had 2 or 3 chances in the first 5 minutes, and if you put one of them in, then the game becomes a lot easier. Their goal led a charmed life at times. Everything that sort of seemed to deflected into the keeper's hands, or it was just one of them days today where it just didn't quite fall. Maybe could we be a little bit sharper on balls that are dropping down? It's something we'll have to look at during the week. But if we keep creating the amount of chances we've created today, we will win games. That's just that's just fact. The laws of probability say that you can't keep producing that many chances and not win games of football. So I'm not disappointed with a lot of what I saw. I'm pleased with the way that we played on the front foot. I'm pleased with the way that we pressed. I'm pleased with the combinations that got us into them areas. And as I said to the players, the only thing lacking was the ball that says, score me. Did we put a cross in that really said, score me, get on the end of it? And that's the only thing that we're lacking, but that's something that we can work on going forward. The rest, I'm really pleased with.
How satisfied were you with Seb Palmer-Holden and Sam Vokes on their first league starts, individually but together, those 2 summer signings in the forward area of the pitch? And Seb had a chance after 15 seconds, didn't he, and Sam Vokes after 2 minutes? Yeah,
it's a really good pairing, that older head and a younger lad who's enthusiastic but bright as well. He doesn't play like a 21-year-old. He's a clever player. I thought they combined really well. I thought they gave us a threat. We were an aerial threat through Vokesy, and then we got Seb who can run down the side, but he's also pretty good in the air. And so whichever way you try and defend against us with those 2, it becomes very tough. It's a real shame that we haven't had them so far in the season, because it would have been really good to dovetail them, Elliot Nevitt, Josh Andrews, Marcus Wiley, and have a real mixture of people to apply pressure, and if you take, for example, those 2 off today and you bring on Nev and Josh Andrews, that's a luxury that we've got if they're all fit. So I'm looking forward to seeing the partnership develop. I'm looking forward to Vokesy and Josh working together, and Josh improving as a player, and I think we've got some really good players at the top end of the pitch. We will score goals.
And what might that goal do for Elliot Nevitt and for his confidence?
Yeah, he's been unfortunate this season. He's had a lot of near misses, and we actually spoke yesterday, and I said to him, tomorrow's the day. So I'm delighted for him. He's frustrated that he hasn't hit the back of the net as much as he would have liked. but that he was the man on the spot today, and we needed someone when the ball was bobbling around the penalty box. We just needed someone with a calm finish, and fortunately he's found the corner.
And you were calling for that kind of beacon of positivity before the game. In the end, it ended up being this kind of weird atmosphere at full time. Delighted to have scored and equalised, but everyone left the ground feeling like, why and how didn't Gillingham win the game?
Yeah, that is the overriding emotion, isn't it? You know, you can ask them questions, and I'm sure as people look back at it, they'll say, how the hell has not ended 4 or 5 in our favour? Look, it's tough sometimes in football. You know, the scoring goals is the hardest thing, and that's why the goal scorers are paid the most money, and the creative players are paid the most money. You know, those type of players don't tend to sit in League Two very often. They get moves up the ladder fairly quickly. So, you know, for us to create the chances that we've created today, you know, and hopefully Seb's back and Vokes is back, and they'll be the goal scorers that we need. As I say, you can't keep creating that amount of chances without somebody like Vokesy or someone like Seb and Nev getting on the end of it. So yeah, it's been a tough result to take today, but I think when we pick the bones out of it, we're going to see a lot of positives.
Just in terms of the way you set up for this one, went with the wing backs again. Is that in part due to kind of a lack of fitness from wingers a little bit higher up the pitch, and maybe the threat they had on the break? Yeah,
we've lost our wingers over the last couple of weeks, which is a shame because we want to play with wingers. So it was the natural formation to pick with what we had. We spoke with Gaz Thursday. We fed back our information on what we'd seen at Cheltenham. He watched them come back with pretty much the same thing and said, yep, I've seen all the same things, and we went through team selection and that was what we come up with. So you know, probably not ideal to play Shad, third game of the week, but we're trying to get him up to speed because he's somebody that needs games to get the very best out of him. He was probably our best, or one of our best players in the first 4 games of the season, and injuries, he's not a quick recoverer of injuries, so we need to get him game time, and so that was in our thinking. But yeah, the formation was sort of the natural formation to pick with what we had available. I've got to say, Jammer, Minty, the sports science team, medical team have done a wonderful job this week to get players fit, because it was looking like we were going to be a lot lighter at the start of the week, and what they've done over the last few days has been nothing short of amazing, and I've got to give them a lot of credit to get the players that we got out on the pitch today out there, and fair play to Vokesy, fair play to Seb for running through as long as they did.
And just finally from me, Romain Hutton, I mentioned that stat about the amount of crosses put in, and I would imagine a lot of them came from him. Just how important a player is he for you at the moment?
He is. He's a very important player, and he's playing with confidence at the moment. I like Rem a lot. He's a bright lad. He's learning. He wants to learn. He puts a lot of crosses in, and as I say, hopefully now we can just teach him to be the one that puts it right on the plate for people. You know, he throws a lot of balls in the box, but the next step for him in his game is to be that crosser, David Beckham like, I guess, where you put it on someone's head and say, go on in, hit the back of the net. But I love Huts to bits. He's a key player for us, and I think he's got a real good future.
Well, hard luck on the result today.
Thank you.
I believe the manager was watching on iFollow or whatever it is these days. Probably could have given him an easier game to watch.
Yeah. He texted me after the game and just said, "Well done, mate. Did enough to win 2 games there. Not sure it's been great for my heart though." So yeah, he echoed the same sentiment. He's going to get involved, and it's hard to stop Gaz from getting involved. You know, he wants to. Probably in an ideal world, he'd probably do a little bit less at this moment in time, but he's all in, Gaz, you know, and he cares passionately. So, you know, we're obviously not going to tell him no. We might have to pull the reins in on him at times, but he wants to be around the boys. You know, that's just the person he is. He wants to be in the centre of everything, and it's really difficult for him at the moment to be on the periphery and not at Priestfield on match day.
You're going to have to try and keep him off the bus to Grimsby next week, are you?
Yeah. I think Grimsby, we've already said that's a no. He won't be there for Grimsby. Salford, possibility, but probably not, I would say, at this moment in time. It all depends on how he recovers over the next couple of weeks. We've just got to suck it and see with him, you know, see how long it takes for him to recover. It's obviously been a big operation, and there's been a lot of trauma to his body, so he's going to have good days and bad days, and yesterday was a bad day for him. Today he's much better, he's in much better spirits. It's going to be up and down, I think, from here on in.
and you mentioned your fitness guys and your sports science guys to get 80 minutes out of Sam Vokes after his half a game the other day. Some going, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've done a brilliant job. The guys. With Seb coming off Tuesday, I mean, it was a precaution, but we were worried. We didn't think he was going to make it, and then the scans have shown up and they were positive. So we threw him in, and I kept saying to the two of them, like, how are you doing? I just got thumbs up all the time. I didn't want to change it. It was going so well, and you just think it's got to fall sooner or later. So I didn't really want to change the performance, but I trust the players, I trust them, and they both said to me, no, I'm good, and you get to a point where you're going, we can't break Seb for the sake of a result here, we can't break Vokesy, we need to be sensible with it, and we made that decision as late as we possibly could.
Great when you've got Marcus Wiley, Elliot Never, so even like you've got a striker suspended, you've still got good options. Yeah,
we've got good forward players. Yeah, really happy with the selection and the players that we've got up top. As I said, we will score goals with these boys. Today was an anomaly. Very, very strange to have the stats so far in your favour and not win a game of football. But it happens from time to time. I've got to pick them up now because they're so disappointed that they didn't get the win that they deserved. And Glenn Morris said to me as he walked off the pitch, he said, in my career, I can't remember being involved in such a one-sided game. It was, but then they've got numbers around the edge of the box. They throw bodies on the line. It becomes difficult to break them down, particularly when they've got the first goal. So credit to the boys. We've got something out of the game, and funnily enough, it's moved us up a point in a place in the table. So over the course of the season, every point's important, and this has proved to be an important point with results around us sort of going our way.
And ironic that Elliot Never gets the goal now after being put on the bench, not starting a game. He gets his goal. Yeah, super sub now. Isn't it?
Yeah. It would have been nice to rotate them all. I think we've flogged Josh and Nev a little bit in terms of the amount of game time they've had so far in the season, purely because of the situation with Sev and Vokesy. So it would have been nice to have been able to flip it in games with our forward players and flip it maybe from week to week. But it's a nice problem to have, and with the players coming back to fitness, and they'll get sharper and sharper with every game. The ones sat on the bench will be chomping at the bit to come on and make an impact, and that can only be good for us.
One final thing from me, if I can ask, the FA Cup draw on Monday, there's a few Kent teams in it, Cheltenham are in it as well, so I mean there's a chance of a Medway derby. Who do you fancy?
You get who you're given, so it would be great, wouldn't it, to have a Kent derby. I think it'd be good for the whole area and for the club. So if we could pull one of those sides out, preferably at home, that would be great. But there's every chance we'll end up at, I don't know if Carlisle are in it or someone like that. You get excited for these draws, and then they're always a bit of an anti-climax, aren't they? So I remember back a few years ago when we were in a hotel for a game and we pulled Spurs out. And that was a great occasion because it's the one time when you suddenly go, oh wow, you do actually get good draws in this cup. But whoever it is, we'll take it, and it's a good competition. So we look forward to that game.